Guys, feel free to ask any questions. I can keep talking about what I do for an entire day. Ask questions. It'll keep it interactive, it'll keep it fun, and we'll keep things moving. Hi. I'll be talking about how one can visualize and analyze your network activities with OSU INAM. This is a tool that we developed at our lab at The Ohio State University. Let me first make my pointer into a laser pointer and then we can move forward. So this is a brief outline of how the talk is going to proceed. First, I'll introduce the problem, then talk about the design, see how the profiling affects application performance. Then we'll go into the demo where I'll log on to like a couple of remote clusters. One will be the Ohio State Supercomputing Cluster, which is about like 1,500 to 2,000 nodes in size, and show how the profiling tool works there. And we'll also try like a different cluster, like a smaller one, which is in-house. So hopefully it'll be useful to you, and we'll have some fun discussing about it. So if you look at it, there are lots of profiling tools for HPC systems. Some are at the system level, some are at the user level. And a lot of different types of users use these tools. So you have like HPC administrators using tools like Ganglia or like Grafana, a bunch of other things. You have software developers and domain scientists also are using tools. But the problem is that all of these tools provide different kinds of views. So while some give you what is happening on the network, some are able to tell you what's happening in the MPI library, some are able to tell you what's happening with the job scheduler, but none of these tools are able to provide a unified and holistic view spanning multiple domains: the communication fabric, the MPI library, the job scheduler, and the HPC application to different classes of end users. Without such a unified and holistic view, it would be very hard to correlate the interaction between applications, job schedulers, MPI libraries, and the communication fabric, and pinpoint the source of problems. So this is primarily the challenge that we are trying to solve here. We are trying to understand these complex interactions and find out the root cause for performance degradation by designing a holistic tool which gives you a full view of how different components in the HPC ecosystem work with each other. So broadly, what we are trying to do is as shown in this figure here. So let me give a quick overview of the broad project that we are working on. So the OSU INAM project is part of the larger MVAPIS project. So MVAPIS is a high-performance open-source MPI library. We've been around for quite a long time, and most of you guys in the community probably know us. And we are empowering a lot of top 500 systems in the world right now. So this is an overview of OSU INAM. So the latest version of OSU INAM is set to be released today, and these are the kind of features that we have support for. So we have tested OSU INAM on different large-scale HPC systems running various architectures like x86, ARM, OpenPOWER, and different versions of OFED, as you can see here. So INAM is able to deliver subsequent port query and fabric discovery for very, very, very large systems like north of 2,000 nodes. So let me briefly talk about how we went about designing OSU INAM, and this is like a quick sneak preview into one of our upcoming features, the profiler interface for MPI plus CUDA communication. So this is like a high-level overview of our INAM framework. So the INAM daemon interacts with multiple components of the HPC system, like the job scheduler, the MPI library. It also gathers GPU profiling information using the CUPTI interface, and it also gathers the fabric information directly from the InfiniBand communication fabric. Now, all of these things are pushed into like a database. We have multiple options for the choice of a database. And finally, the user is able to view the information stored in the database through a web-based UI. And I'll be trying to do a demo of this entire workflow in today's presentation. So these were some of the challenges that we had to face while designing a profiler interface for MPI plus CUDA communication. So the challenge here was to see if we can have a low overhead GPU profiler module for identifying how the communication traffic went inside the node. Let's say, suppose you have multiple ranks and multiple GPUs on a node, which is very common on modern HPC systems. So how does the communication actually proceed? Like, does GPU 0 talk to GPU 1? Did GPU 1 talk to 2? Did the GPU 1 communicate with the host? So how are we able to like identify all of these things? So to do this, what we do is each node goes ahead and aggregates and sends the information and metrics to OSU INAM. So as we saw in the previous slide, the MPI library would aggregate the GPU profiling information and send it to OSU INAM. Now, the MPI library spaces are split into three. So the first one is the startup phase, where each rank discovers the internal topology and updates the information so that other ranks can use it. Then we'll proceed with the query phase, where the profiler thread periodically queries the various GPUs available on the system to figure out the amount of data being sent and received over the NV links on that system, as well as from the NV link or from the GPU to the CPU. So this will keep on progressing in the background while the application is running, so that we have real-time progression. And finally, when the application is ready to quit, we have the exit phase, where the ranks stop collecting the data, and the data is finally sent out to the OSU INAM process. So we also have like a profiler interface for collecting MPI data. So I hope you guys are familiar with the MPI tools information interface. So this is a newer interface that is being proposed by the MPI community to see if we can have a white box approach into profiling MPI library. So previously, if you look at let's say QMPI or PMPI based debugging and interception libraries, you would see that there is a lot of overhead in doing that. So the MPI tools-based information interface is an effort to see if we can have a white box approach to profiling the MPI library, which is much lower overhead than the current interception-based debugging and profiling tools. So we build upon the MPI tools information interface and add a lot of performance variables to monitor various aspects of the MPI communication. So a lot of MPI libraries already have support for these MPI tools information interface like OpenMPI and Ambavage 2. So we build on top of it, and we add a lot of internal timers and counters to see how much data is being sent. Now, one important advantage of this is, if you look at the existing profiling tools, they can only tell you that, for instance, an application spent so much time in broadcast or in reduce or in all reduce. It will not tell you that, let's say, for each collective algorithm, there could be like 15 or 20 different implementations of it. So with the MPI tools information interface, what you can do is, you can quite easily say that, okay, I called broadcast, but inside broadcast, out of the 15 different algorithms available to implement the broadcast primitive, we used maybe like a k-nomial based tree algorithm, or we directly relied on InfiniBand hardware multicast to send out the data. So this is the kind of granularity that this sort of a profiling interface provides us, which can very easily tell us which exact algorithm was being used for what message size and what system size and what job size. So this is able to give you a white box approach into the MPI runtime, as opposed to the black box approach that we had earlier. So this gives you a lot of fine-grained information that was previously unavailable. Now, of course, the biggest question is, okay, you are doing all of this profiling and data collection. What impact does this have on applications? This is obviously being run in the context of the MPI runtime. So how does this affect application performance? So in order to do this, we went ahead and did detailed analysis and profiling of the overhead cost by doing this data collection. So as you can see, the overall time that is taken is in the order of a few seconds. So if you look at, if you compare this with the average time that an application takes, this is just a drop in the bucket. You would not even notice it. So thanks to our designs having separate profiler threads, we are able to significantly minimize the overall time required to profile an MPI library in real time. And this is how the time taken varies as the number of GPUs increases. So as you can see, again, the time is extremely small, in the order of a few milliseconds, as the number of GPUs increases. And this is how the time and for gathering GPU metrics varied across like a run of a large application. This is like an application which ran for 15 minutes. And as you can see, the average time for query is as low as a couple of milliseconds. So this is not going to have a significant impact on your end application performance, as you see here. So here we are trying to compare an MPI library which is not being instrumented to collect data using the MPI tools information interface, and like an MPI library with that support. So as you can see, all this profiling has little or no impact on the performance of real applications at a reasonable scale. We are trying to work to see if we can gather this information at a larger scale, but so far we have not seen any impact whatsoever. So before we proceed with the demo, are there any high-level questions about what INAM can do?
I am monitoring you, Hari. I'll let you know if anything comes in.
Sure, sure. If not, let me quit the presentation view and try to show you a demo of what OSU INAM is capable of. So this is OSU INAM that is being deployed currently at the Ohio Supercomputer Center. Are you guys able to see my screen here?
No, Hari, I'm seeing a gray box.
Okay, so let me try to share my entire screen. Do you guys see my screen now?
We see it now, yes.
Okay, so this is OSU INAM currently running on the OSC cluster. So this is like close to 2,000 nodes. So as you can see, this is a visualization of 3 different HPC systems that the Ohio State Supercomputing Center has. So the Pitzer system, the Ruby system, the Owen system, and like a small IO cluster, which is all connected to one large InfiniBand fabric. So this is what you are visualizing here. Let me change it to into a full screen. So you can try to like move the picture around like as you want. The blue dots that you see here are compute nodes. The red dots that you see here are the switches. So if you want to, you can, for instance, let's say, if you want to see what is going on this particular node, you can click on that node and let's say, it will very clearly tell you what this particular node is, what job is running on that system, so on and so forth. So we have live and historical view. So typically users have this question, okay, I was running this application yesterday night from 10 p.m. to like midnight. But suddenly my application performance really tanked. So can you tell me what happened during this time interval? So for users like this, we have this thing called a historical view, where you can actually go back in time and see what exactly happened during that period. Now, the link utilization is like color coded based on the usage. So you can only select whatever links that interest you. So you can, as you can see, only certain links show up depending on what you select. So this is what we call as the live network view, and you can try to filter it based on different kinds of metrics that the underlying InfiniBand network provides. So you can filter it based on the amount of data transmitted, the amount of data received, the amount of like point-to-point operations, collective operations. So these are done in conjunction with the MPI library. You can also have view a lot of these error counters. So these would be, in our view, something that is quite useful for of HPC systems and system administrators. So you also have the ability to view a particular switch. So as I said, the red dots here actually represent various switches on the system. So you can right-click here and either open the link information or the switch information. So if you open up the switch, this is the kind of view that you will get. So you will see that this is the particular switch that is coming up, and you can visualize the data that the switch spent for the last five minutes, hour, day, or week, depending on what you want. And the view will tell you what port this particular switch was connected to. So if you look at this, you can open each port. So this is obviously like an uplink port where it is being connected to a different switch. And if you scroll down, you will see that this is a downlink port where the switch is being connected to an end node. And you will see the amount of data being sent and received on this particular node. So there are different ways in which you can analyze and visualize this data. So you can also open up like a node information. So you will see that this node is part of a job which consists of multiple other nodes. But you see that the MPI library is not sending a lot of data. So as I mentioned, INAM works with different components of the HPC ecosystem. So currently we support the MVAPITCH MPI runtime. We also support the PBS and Slurm job schedulers, and we support InfiniBand Fabric. So depending on what all components that you have support for, you can, like for instance, figure out that there are so many jobs running on this cluster. So for instance, if you want to figure out what this job is, you can try to visualize, let's say, for instance, a large job. So if you want to figure out what all nodes this particular job is using, you can go to the network view, filter it by job ID, and say that, hey, just show me the nodes being used by this job. So then you can have a view of all the nodes and the switches that are being used by the job and how the communication is progressing inside that one job. So there is a lot of debugging that you can do. And another very common thing that application developers and more importantly HPC system administrators want is the support for notifications. So they don't want to keep looking at a particular view all the time. You would like to create a certain notifications like, hey, if my process counter byte sent went above maybe let's say 75%, please send an email to me. Okay. And you can put in some text here like process counters exceeded 75%, something like that. And if you save this, and you can save like whether you want it every single time or not. So you can save this, and then and a new notification would come up here, and you will keep on getting this notification either in your email, or you can also view all the notifications that came up recently on the notifications tab for OSU INAM. So if you click on it, you will very clearly figure out which switch, which node triggered that particular notification. So this is some of the features that OSU INAM provides and the kind of scalability that it has. Now, let me go to a different cluster, which is like a local cluster that we have at the Ohio State University. And
Hari, we have a few questions on this cluster.
Sure.
From Karsten, which MPI implementation supports MPI-T?
So OpenMPI and MVAPITCH2 definitely supports MPI tools information interface. I am not sure about Intel MPI and Spectrum MPI because they are closed source, but since they are derivatives of MPITCH and are OpenMPI, they should support MPI-T in some shape or form. But I don't know what exact, like how many number of performance variables they support.
Okay.
Did that answer your question?
Karsten, you are unmuted if you like to chime in. Yes, he said yes. Yeah, thank you.
Okay.
The second question is from Kevin Brown. What is the topology of the system? Fat tree, Dragonfly?
It's a fat tree.
Fat tree. Okay. Thank you.
So this is actually not one HPC system. So as you can see from my screen, these are three separate HPC systems. So OSC is a little different from other HPC centers. So if you look at TAC Frontera, their InfiniBand fabric is not shared among multiple HPC systems. So Frontera is one fabric, Stampede is another fabric, Lone Star is another fabric, Longhorn is another fabric. they have separate subnet managers. But if you look at OSC, what they go for is they have a very large fabric where they interconnect all of their HPC resources because they have a common IO subsystem in the backend. So these are like 3 separate HPC systems that you are visualizing here, and each one is like a partial factory.
Okay, thank you. There is also another question from Arnold. Is INAM only supported with MV pitch? Can it be modified to be supported on just OFED, no MPI?
Yes. So depending on the number of supported, so as I mentioned, INAM works with with an MPI library or without it, with the job scheduler or without it, and on InfiniBand. So depending on how many supported components you have. So for instance, let's say you have a PBS job scheduler, OpenMPI, and InfiniBand Fabric. So the job scheduler features, which for instance is the live jobs page, that will perfectly work. So if you look at it, this is interacting with the job scheduler to get the job ID as well as the node count. But it very clearly says that there is no data from the MPI process because this is being run with some other MPI library. So it can work with any one of these components individually or in concert with all components. Depending on what all supported components are being used, the amount of data that you will get will differ.
Okay, yeah, thank you.
Thank you, Divya. Any other questions, thoughts, comments?
No, this is it for now. I'll keep monitoring, okay?
Okay, sure. So let me go on to a different local system. Hold on. Let me try to open up, where did that go? Yeah, here it is. So this is a local system that we have. And I would like to show you how the live jobs page works here. Okay. So again, as you can see, like even on the system, you have several jobs which are working on working with MPI libraries which are not supported. Well, just as you know, if you whenever you want to do a live demo, the thing doesn't work as you expect. So yeah, sorry about that. So apparently only the larger cluster works. The smaller cluster seems to have some issue. So we also have some other things like a database size calculator. So this is a standard question that everybody has. Okay, I am setting up all of these things, but can you give me an idea of how much let's say disk space I would need to store all of this data? So we have this very nice utility called database size calculator, which tells you exactly that. So depending on the frequency at which you want to query the fabric, the number of switch ports that you have, the number of days for which you want to retain the data, the frequency at which you want to push the data, this will very clearly tell you, let's say, how much, like what is the estimated database size that you would need. So this is a fairly nice utility that you can use if you want to deploy INAM on your system. The other standard question that we always get from users is something like this. Hey, I like this tool, but I really do not want to deploy this on my production HPC system. Can I use and explore this in a sandbox environment and see how that works? So we have support for that as well. So this is called emulation mode. So what the emulation mode takes in as an input is the network fabric obtained by the IBNetDiscover command. So IBNetDiscover is a command that is available through OFED. And that very clearly dumps out the entire fabric information for you. So if you have that information, then you can feed that into OSU INAM, which is probably running on your laptop, and try to see how what kind of load that will cause for your system in terms of CPU utilization, memory utilization, disk space utilization, so on and so forth. So this emulation mode is quite useful for people who want to try and get a sneak preview of what OSU INAM offers before actually deploying it on their, let's say, large HPC systems.
Thank you, Hari. We have about 5 or 8 minutes to wrap the presentation.
Yes, I'm mostly done with the demo. Thank you for the reminder, Divya. So let me go back to the slides now. So these are some of the views that you have. So what you see here is a link level utilization that INAM can tell you. So basically on a given link, INAM can tell you what MPI process and what rank within that MPI job was actually doing the communication. So this is quite useful to see what sort of interaction that is happening on a given link. So for instance, you can figure out if job 1 and job 2 are interacting on a particular given link here. So these are again some of the standard use cases that we have. So this is the view that you will get from INAM if you have a supported MPI library which is sending information to it. And since we work in cooperation with the MPI runtime, INAM can also tell you what was the most frequently used collective operation for a job, how much data it sent at different granularities like the job level, the node level, or the process level. So all of these are different kind of views that you can get. And this is a new feature that we introduced recently, the ability to profile master IO traffic. So this is again done in conjunction with the MPI library, where the library tells you that, hey, I sent out so much, or I wrote this much data, or I read this much data to Lustre, and we can actually track this data going over the network. So I would like to go into this in like a bit more detail, but unfortunately, like I am out of time, so I'll just quickly like go over this. So this slide shows how we collect information from GPUs and like how the GPU link usage is colored depending on the utilization here. And this shows how we are able to use INAM with like various applications, deep learning as well as HPC applications like TensorFlow, which is using Horovod underneath for communication, and running on multiple nodes. So we can very clearly say how much data is being sent and data is being received like with this deep learning model. And I can also tell you how much like MPI all these communication is happening. So with that, I come to the end of my talk. So what we presented here is the design and utilization of the OSU INAM tool. The latest version, which is v0.9.6, is available for free download from our website. We are working with various HPC centers to deploy INAM there. So as I mentioned, we are working with OSC. We are also trying to work with TAC, the Texas Advanced Computing Center, to deploy INAM on Frontera, which is the largest academic system in the US with close to 8,000 compute nodes and multiple levels of InfiniBand switch. So as part of future work, we'd like to release the support we did for profiling GPUs, as well as we'd like to add the capability to do application level introspection through the MPI tools information interface for HPC as well as deep learning applications. So thank you for your time. Please let me know if you have any questions.
All right, let's see. I may have a question. Is this OSU fabric partitioned? If so, how? Example is that is this OSU fabric partitioned? If so, how? That is the OpenOSM partition features and P keys. Bill, I'm going to open your mic in case you need to chime in.
Sure. So this is on the OSC system. Okay, so I'm not exactly sure about that. I need to go back and check with the system administrator. So I can do that and get back to you, but I think it is partitioned, yes.
Yeah, interesting to see the OpenSMConf. Thanks. The partition.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Any other questions, thoughts, comments? If not, thank you all for your time.
Yeah, thank you. This is very interesting. Thank you, Hari, for taking the time and setting up this demo for our audience. So we'll, I guess, I'm at the end of the hour, so let me wrap here.